Let's take a look at a slightly more complicated array and what you might do with an array like this. So this array is what's called a two-dimensional array or a multi-dimensional array with two dimensions, meaning that it's an array and each element of the array is another array that contains in and of itself three elements. And you can look at this, you can kind of tell that what we're doing here is we are doing something with pets. So what I have set up here is a very small database, basically, that has the name of the pet or the type of animal, the number of animals that the pet store has, and the price for each animal. Obviously, these are just wild guesses, and puppies isn't a very precise way to refer to an animal, but we're just going for simplicity here. And so AR Pet Shop is an array of animals, and their information is all grouped together. So what I want to do is I want to take this array and I want to actually print it to the screen in a more attractive way than if I just spit it all out there, because I can do that if I want to. I could just say, and we could go back and look at this array here, and instead of doing this, I could just use the print R command, which allows you to print out an array, and say AR names. Okay, so there's that array, and I'm just going to spit it out the ugliest way possible. You can see here, this is what an array looks like when you print it using print R. And that is useful sometimes when you want to figure something out specifically, but it is ugly. So we don't want to do that in this case. What we want is to print this out inside a nice table. So what I've got going here is a basic table that I've set up, and I've done the styling, the CSS and all of that, and I put the table headings in there. And this is just a test row. And you can see here, if you look at the code, here's that test row with the 3 cells in it. And this is what I'm going to use as a template to put in these 3 pieces of information. And each of these arrays inside the pet shop array is going to constitute 1 row of data. So this is how I would set this up. And this is a different way of using a loop where we're intermingling PHP code with HTML code. But I wanted to show you a different way of doing it. So I'm going to put my PHP tag in here. And I'm going to close that tag. I like to put a closing tag anytime I do an opening tag, and that saves me from having errors later on. So what I'm going to do is for each, and the array that I'm going to use for that main loop is AR Pet Shop. So for each AR Pet Shop as AR animal, because remember, each line inside that or each item inside that is another array. So I'm going to create a variable that I know is an array, and it makes sense. Okay, so this is going to be my animal. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of putting all of my code in here, I'm going to take this little bracket that closes this, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it down here inside its own PHP block. Okay, so you can see when I have my cursor next to this one, its corresponding one highlights it. So basically what I'm saying is that for each item in AR Pet Shop, we're going to assign that to AR Animal, and we're going to print one of these. Let's run this without any other modifications, and I'm going to indent that so I know all of this stuff goes inside that. You don't have to, but I like to indent things like this so I can stay organized and know what I'm doing. So this loop is still going to work, but now watch what it does. It's going to print 3 rows of just test. And the reason it's just printing test is because that's still what's in there. So now I need to in each of these cells tell it what to print. And remember from our basic intro to arrays that the first item in an array is index 0, second is index 1, and the third is index 2. So if I want to insert those pieces of data into those cells, I can just do it in a single line here so I can maintain the structure of my code. Echo AR animal 0 okay. So each one is now going to print the animal name, and I'm going to save that, and let's just go run that and see how it works. There we go, puppies, kittens, fish, looking good so far. Now I just take that code and I'm just going to copy it right in here because I can. And now all I have to do is change the index number to 1 and 2 because the second line is going to be the quantity of animals, the third is going to be the price. So now if I save that and run it, there we go. This could be formatted better as actual currency, but for now, this is putting the information in the right place in the right order. So that's exactly what we're looking for. And this is how you print nested arrays to a table.